Hello there, it's Roger Higgins again from the Julian Teaching School Hub. This is part 2 of a 4-part briefing for tutors whose ECTs have recently started their 6th and final term of induction. In this part of the briefing, we'll be looking at the expectations of induction tutors when they're writing formal assessment point reports. Here are the headline expectations. I'm going to walk you through each one in turn. However, you may wish to pause the video here to read these more carefully. Let's start with the need for your report comments to be based on evidence. We first talked to you about how vital building up an evidence base throughout the induction period is during your initial training with us. By now, you will have a wide variety of evidence which you will have been sharing with the ECT as and when it was generated. You will be holding a central record of all of this such that you can share it with us if requested. Just to reassure you, the process of generating evidence is cumulative, so you shouldn't have to do anything different or extra special as you approach the final assessment. It's also good practice to reuse evidence which you have already referred to in a previous progress review or the end of year 1 assessment point report. Let's now consider expectations on what and how you write comments about in your final report. First, as with the report at the end of year 1, you'll need to comment on each and every teacher's standard in turn, unlike for progress reviews. Your comments for each teacher's standard need to be specific to your ECT, not generic. One way to do this effectively and efficiently is by using the ESI structure, which was developed by the National Teacher Accreditation Organization, an experienced and national appropriate body. Here is an example. Pause the video and read through it carefully. Okay, hopefully the coloring enables you to see that the statement includes evaluation, is specific about the subject of the comment being made, and states the impact of the ECT's practice. Here are further examples of written statements that use this ESI structure. Again, try pausing the video, this time checking that you can break down each statement to identify each of the 3 elements. That's evaluation, subject, and impact. Here then are those example statements marked up to show how they use the ESI structure. The ESI structure helps to ensure that you are being specific in your comments whilst also supporting you to be time efficient in your writing of them. Our final expectation of you in terms of your report writing is that you set effective targets for the ECT's future development, whilst also encouraging them to spend time themselves reflecting on their achievements and areas for development. Your comments on the ECT's strengths and targets for future development are really important for the ECT's ongoing development as a teacher, regardless of whether they will be remaining at your institution or taking up a role elsewhere after this term. Just as the handover from their initial teacher training provider to you as they started induction was really helpful, so the final areas for development and related targets you set them will be very helpful as a starting point when they begin the annual appraisal cycle with their line manager next term. Equally, do strongly encourage your ECT to spend sufficient time reflecting on their achievements and areas for development, using the comments field in ECT Manager to record these. Otherwise, we risk missing the opportunity, to develop their ability to self-reflect and risk embedding poor habits which will hamper their development and limit their sense of agency going forwards. This brings us to the end of the second part of this briefing. Please now watch part 3, recorded by my colleague Dave Richards.